of chat about their need for a striker, but it could be a midfielder's arrival that's imminent.
Yes, good news for Arsenal supporters because they're closing in on signing Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Now, he won't actually join until the summer, but he is a player who's got a €60 million release clause. That's about £51 million. Lots of other clubs have been interested in signing him. For instance, he was close to joining Liverpool last summer before that deal collapsed at the last minute. But Arsenal have been in talks to sign him. I think Mikel Arteta has played a big part in convincing the player that Arsenal is the right move for him. And I think it makes sense for Arsenal as well because there are question marks over the long-term future of midfielders like Jorginho, Thomas Partey, who are out of contract in the summer. So it looks like Arsenal just doing a little bit of forward planning. I think it would have helped them if he was able to move this month, but it looks like Real Sociedad is saying no, we want him to stay until the summer, but it looks like in the summer they will be getting Martin Zubimendi. Of course, they've done a lot of business with Real Sociedad in the past as well. Mikel Merino, they signed. They've also had players like Martin Odegaard, who used to play for Real Sociedad as well. So good news for Arsenal fans. Perhaps not the news they wanted because they want a forward, but they will be getting a very, very good midfielder if this deal is completed. And this was a development that was first reported by Sami Mokbel in the Daily Mail earlier today.
It was supposed to be just another first day at training for Eze'S, but at Arsenal, nothing is ever quite that ordinary. The Gunners' newest signing, fresh from his big money move from Crystal Palace, stepped onto the lush Emirates training ground expecting drills, tactics, and his first real bonding session with teammates under Mikel Arteta. What he didn't expect was to be greeted by one of the most iconic figures in the club's history, Thierry Henry. The French legend's unexpected arrival immediately electrified the atmosphere. Players paused mid-warm-up, staff members exchanged knowing smiles, and even Arteta couldn't hide his excitement as he embraced the man who defined an era at Arsenal. Henry, ever the charismatic presence, strolled onto the pitch with that familiar mix of swagger and warmth that had made him a fan favorite for decades. For Eze'S, the moment was surreal. After exchanging greetings with the squad, Henry made a beeline for the new signing. Cameras caught the pair in deep conversation, with Henry gesturing animatedly as he spoke, no doubt sharing insights on movement, finishing, and the unique pressures of wearing the Arsenal badge. The conversation seemed to strike a chord with Eze'S, whose smile widened with each passing word. Thierry told me to play my game, enjoy the moment, and never forget why I fell in love with football, Eze'S later revealed in a brief interview with Arsenal media. Hearing that from a legend like him is something I'll never forget. Then came the moment fans could barely believe Henry joined the training session. At 47, the former striker still looked sharp, sliding passes, exchanging one-twos, and even attempting a cheeky backheel that brought laughter from the squad. Eze'S, clearly inspired, showed flashes of the flair that convinced Arsenal to bring him to North London, weaving through defenders with an ease that had supporters buzzing online. Social media exploded within minutes. Photos of Henry and Eze'S side by side, clad in Arsenal training gear, began flooding timelines. Memes, highlight edits, and tweets comparing Eze'S elegant dribbling to Henry's primera grace spread like wildfire. The narrative was irresistible, the King of Highbury passing the torch to a new Prince of the Emirates. Speaking after the session, Mikel Arteta praised Henry's visit, calling it a moment that connects our glorious past to our bright future. The Arsenal boss emphasized the importance of new signings feeling the weight and the privilege of the club's history. When Thierry speaks, you listen, Arteta said. For a player like Eze'S, to hear those words on his very first day is powerful. It's about understanding what it means to represent Arsenal, not just on the pitch, but off it too. For Eze'S, this was more than just a training session. It was a symbolic welcome into the Arsenal family, endorsed by one of its greatest ever players. That kind of seal of approval can ignite a career, and judging by the excitement surrounding him, the Emirates faithful are ready to embrace their new star. As the sun set over London Colney, the image of Henry's arm draped over Eze'S shoulder lingered in the minds of fans. It wasn't just a meeting of past and present, it was a glimpse into a possible future where Eze'S carves his own legend in red and white. Could Arsenal have just witnessed the first page of a new chapter in their history with Henry's blessing and the backing of the Gunners faithful? Eze'S journey is already off to a dream start.